So we've got Ratchet here. So what we're going to do, we're going to take everything off Ratchet. And we're going to test him out what we call naked. So, we've got Hound Bat. No, trying to make sure there's no healing involved in any of these. So, Amalgamus is, so, Impactor. Yeah, Impactor. So, let's put Impactor down, put Ratchet down. So you see there, no healing to Ratchet. Let's wait till he gets hit a bit. Let's get some range. So you see there, look, so Ratchet is getting no healing at all. So you see healing combat, that's the combat's healing there. The green numbers there for Impactor. But Ratchet's taking damage and not healing at all. Yeah. So we know already from testing, we know that right now nothing is making Ratchet heal. So we're gonna put Alchemist on him and give it a go. There we go. So the other DJ Hart has put the only way that would work if the game is restricting is healing for damage. So that's the main point. So when you talk about healing per second, damage per second, they're the same sort of same stats in a way. So when your healer detached from healing, so when your healer's got nothing to heal, if you put Ratchet down for a solo, he will do that as DPS. So if your Ratchet's 450 healing per second, if you drop Ratchet on his own, it will do 450 DPS. But is DPS the same as healing? That is the big question. And put Ratchet down. So you can see there, he's healing. Wait to take some damage. And you see there, it took some damage there. But sadly, he's not healing himself. Sadly. So I know that Tex thought that, and I've talked to him about it previously. I was like, how would you get these numbers to work? Basically, there's so much healing involved in terms of Minerva and Flatline. He just thought it was, sadly. But I just want to confirm that, sadly, Alchemist doesn't work on healers. At first when I heard about it, I thought this could be really interesting, the fact that you can use Ratchet's heal bomb to hopefully heal himself. That'd be crazy good, because if you're using a healing per second to, you know, work Alchemist, then sure his ability does as well. But sadly it's not. But this sort of started me spurring me on to wonder about, you know, which healing cores are the best. You know, and we could talk about Alchemist, we could talk about Rejuvenate, we talk about Ray Boosts for healers and the advantages of that. And yeah, so put Ratchet down. And you see there, he is doing his damage per second, 466, which is what his healing per second is. Fast forward it. When he gets in range. And you see there that now he is healing for 15% of his damage done. I think it's actually 20% now, I think actually. But you see there that the Alchemist is working now because he's actually doing damage. So it is only off damage. But then as soon as we add Impactor to that, the healing now stops. So yeah, Alchemist sadly only works on damage. So the big question there, like I said, is I wanted to talk about some cores and talk about how, which one's best out of sort of Rejuvenate, out of Ray Booster, Alchemist, and even the G1 cores. So that was a sort of a conversation I wanted to talk about. So let's have a look at Alchemist first. So Alchemist, like we just said, we can only equip that now. We don't be using that, do we? So Alchemist heals you for all of your attacks 15%. So this includes abilities as well. So you got to think, if you're thinking about Alchemist, you're best putting Alchemist on a bot that does a massive amount of damage with their ability. So you are talking the likes of Laser Optimus, you're talking about Jazz maybe, you are talking about Impactor. Yes, you could put Volatile Mixture on Jazz to do more damage, which is great as well. But, you know, the main thing, like I said, is the amount of damage that the ability does. So when you think about Alchemist, guys, think about high damage. That's what you're going to think about. because you can put on any bot, let's be honest, but most bots have similar DPS. They've all got between 600 to 1000 ish. So yeah, you are better on a high DPS bot as well. But like I said, 15% of 1000 is still, 150. 15% of 600 is still, 900. So anyway, the point I'm making, guys, is that, DPS is quite important, but the big one is the ability. So Skylinks as well, huge damage, maybe even 6 gun. All these bots that do huge amount of damage. Putting it on the likes of Streetwise or bots or tracks is pretty useless really, because it's only going to heal that bot. And that's 15%, and that's where we go on to the next one. So if you think about Alchemist, think of high damage bots. On to the next one. So next one is Rejuvenate. So obviously comparing the G metals if we can. So this restores 3% of health every 5 seconds. So this is determined by high HP. So where Alchemist is dependent on how much damage you're doing, this is dependent on health. So if you've got a bot with low health, so it's like Rotorstorm or like healers, Rejuvenate 3% of health is not that much. So 3% of 10k is 300. They're going to heal for 300 health every 5 seconds. Where if you put this on Rook, for example, you're getting 900 healing every 5 seconds. So very high health tanks, Rejuvenate is really good on. And that's what I personally put it on. I put Rejuve on a high level tank, a high health tank. Rook, maybe even Impact. There's better cores than that, but you get the idea what I'm talking about. I'm talking Rook, Laser Optimus, Rhinox, bots with like 30k health as 5 stars. That's what you're looking at, guys. High health bots. And the next one we've got is G1 cores. So looking at a heal G1 core, like I said, we look at other cores as well, and there's lots of G1 cores, but let's just look at heal ratchets, for example, and compare that to a raid booster, and the difference between a lot of them as well, in terms of healing and heals. So G1 ratchet increases power of your heal beam by 17.4% and gives you a 25% speed boost. So the important bit is the 17.4%. Then if we look at medic core, so it's not maxed out, but I believe it does around the same, around 16%, 16.5%. So yes, a G1 core is slightly better than a raid booster, but I've got my G1 core that's at level 1, and the question you got to ask is, well, why would you run a G1 core? Why would you not level G1 core up? You're getting more healing. And here's a big one. I just remember why I left it at 17 either. So this is level 17. So once we upgrade it, try to upgrade it there. Have I got any cores? I think I have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 G metals. That's G metal cores as well, guys. For a 0.5%. Let's go again. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 G metals. $11, 12. So 12 G metals just to get it from level 17. Just to get it from level 17. Once you start adding in every single level, the advantage that you get from a G1 healing core over a normal ray boost, it's not that beneficial. You might say, yeah, well, you got the speed boost as well, a 25% speed boost. But that's for when they're sort of moving between their healing. And let's be honest, if you're using healers normally, it's for a walk team. And if your walk team split up that much and your healers got to run around, but then you failed your walk, let's be honest. I'm not a fan of cores where you're sort of planning around something to go wrong. I never plan for my bots to die. I want to finish the match with the battle with 8 bots. So why would you sort of bank on losing a bot? So I don't like that. I don't like the fact that you're using a G1 core thinking, well, if my bot split, that's going to be good. Don't let your bot split. It's plain and simple like that, guys. But yeah. And then, yes, MD Primer said Amalgamus as well. Amalgamus is more around damage. So looking at Amalgamus. So Amalgamus is more again for high damage bots because it increases all damage including abilities by 15%, which is brilliant. It only restores 1% health every half a second, so it's 2% health every second. Over 5 seconds that's 10% health, so it does mount up, but you know, it's only when in alt mode as well. So Amalgamus is good for healing, but it's more about the damage. I wouldn't say that Amalgamus is solid a healing core, but I'm more talking about, I want to sort of concentrate on healers really in a way. So Ray Booster, the reason put Ray Booster on a medic, on a healer, is because it increases the healing to other bots. You could add a Rejuve to that healer, and that will keep that healer alive. So the question you got to ask yourself is, do I want to keep my healers alive, or do I want to keep my other bots alive more? And that's the question you got to ask yourself. Then you got to talk about Micronus, and Micronus is an interesting one. So Micronus heals in an area. So do you put Micronus on your healers? Do you put it on your gunners? Do you put it on your tanks? And that's the big question again. So if you put it on your tanks, you're trying to keep your tanks alive, and that's what I do. I want extra healing go into my tanks. I want Micronus on my tanks. I want stripes on my tanks, healing them, keeping them alive. Because if any bots take damage from me, it's my gunners, it's my jets, and my healers with the mortar cores, the target protocol. So I will use a heal bomb on my healers and on my gunners. If you put Micronus on your healers, it'll keep your healers and gunners alive better, but your tanks will die quicker. Now, if you use a heal bomb on your tanks and gain 4,000 health, it's not as considerable. 4,000 health to healers and gunners will bring them fully back to life. 4,000 health to your tanks is about an eighth of their health, something like that, a sixth of their health. So, you know, it's not as considerable. So I prefer to use ratchet heal bombs on my gunners and on my healers and concentrate on healing my tanks. But listen, everyone's got their sort of different angle on this and how they do it. But I will just make a solid decision. Do you want to heal your tanks more, or do you want to keep your healers alive more? But you've got to sacrifice one user. You can try and find a balance if you can, but that's sort of where you got to decide. If you want to heal your tanks better and keep your tanks alive, for me, that's going to protect your bots anyway. You know, watch out for target protocol, other cores like that, but keep your tanks alive. It's very rare that my tanks die or even lose more than half health, really, because of that reason. That all my healing is pushed forward onto my tanks to keep everyone ahead and everyone alive. And other people, like I said, yeah, that you could put on. You could put, Rejuve on your healers. You could put Micronus on one of your healers, things like that. And yeah, that'll keep your healers alive. But for me, that's what ratchet heal bombs are like. But then I suppose that will save you ability points, maybe, if you can keep them alive and also keep your tanks alive by, using rung and such as that. Again, there's not a right and wrong answer for this. It's all down to opinion. But like I said, guys, when you're sort of choosing cores for your healers and cores and where to put Micronus in your team, think carefully of where you're going to put the Micronus. You can put it in your gunners in the middle. But if your tanks walk off, your healers start healing them, the Micronus is not as effective. You've got to think, though, if you put it in the middle, it might catch both. If you could keep your team totally compact, totally together, putting Micronus on a gunner, it's absolutely brilliant. But then you're going to lose volatile mixture or something like that, and you've got to maybe put it on a bot that's like tracks something, doesn't have an attack ability, has a passive ability, or a support ability as such, a support bot. So, yeah, like I said, guys, decide, do you want to heal your tanks? Do you want to heal your healers? And then from there, Ray Booster to heal your tanks, and then Rejuve maybe to heal your healers. But yeah, like I said at the beginning, like I said, guys, sadly, Alchemist doesn't work on healers. Sadly, Alchemist for your high damage ability bots. Amalgamus, which says to sort of mention it. Again, that's on high damage bots, but it's not as much healing really. Ray Booster on your healers, you want to heal your tanks. Rejuve on your healers if you want to keep them alive. You could also put Alpha Trial on really if you want to. If you want to keep that core in there somewhere, but you're going to lose both there. You're going to lose the healing ability for your tanks and lose the healing ability for your healers. So do you want a bit less healing for something else? Personally, I'd like to put Alphatron somewhere else. But if you like this content, don't forget to hit the like button below, guys, before you leave. And if you want to see more content, you can hit the subscribe button below to never miss another stream or never miss another video. Thanks for watching, guys, and Peace out.